Now, the rest of the story.
All right, welcome back. Now we're kind of going towards the downhill slide of working on this, but the beanhead has had some issues. It actually was kind of like in a frowny face. The outside edges were able to float like they're supposed to, but the inside was actually shoved up and it wasn't flexing like it should. So it really did look like a big frown face. So what it ended up being is there's some arms, an assortment of them, underneath the head that allows it to flex. And what we had were two of the arms in particular, and these are getting shined up, were froze solid because there's a rail that they actually ride on in here, and it was locked up pretty tight. So what we're doing, or Dad and Ryan are doing, I'm just here for moral support. We put Never Seas in the channel that it rides on, and it's going to at least allow it to slip for hopefully the immediate future here. The other ones are still fairly loose like they should be, and what it does is this is what controls your float when this rod flexes from these arms. If you can see them in there hitting it, and then it lets it know that it's getting pushed into the ground, it needs to be pulled up. And that's the big thing we got to do to the bean head. You guys can go back at it. The fingers, we got to loosen them up and put them back where they should be. Hit a slug on the far end, which is no big deal. Grease it. We did pull the cutter bar out. Nothing major here other than we got one that's loose but not bad. So actually the bolt sheared off, so punch, we'll fix that up. And we got a bad one right here that's cut. So otherwise it's getting done. Ryan just washed the combine off earlier, and I gotta go through and grease it. Filters are done, cab needs to be washed out or blown out, wash the windows inside and out again. The inside is actually washed, you just gotta wipe it down, and then we're good to go. These are the old arms that we had in there. We just put two new ones in. These kind of got abused. What we actually had happen is one of the pins on those plates where that yellow plastic is actually broke off, and it was just kind of hanging there. I'm assuming because this wasn't allowed to flex, so it was just pushing up as hard as it could. It wasn't allowed to slide back at all. I'm assuming that it ended up breaking that pin out. And this one, once again, we maybe could have saved it. Not nearly as bad as that one. I actually tells you how thin the metal is on these, because I actually had to use the air hammer to get it pushed out of the channel that it sits in. You can see it's got quite a bit of abuse. I actually punched one pretty clean hole through it, and I was very well on the way to starting a second one. So it should be able to flex like it's supposed to now, because I don't know when harvest is going to start. Not really in a super big rush to get there, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Really just, it'd be nice to get everything ready to run when we do decide to start harvest, or when the crops are actually ready, which they're doing an awful lot of moving here in just the last 2 or 3 days. This is the first, maybe the only day of sun we're going to have for another 8 to 10 days. They are calling for rain. I don't know what to tell you, because honestly they're calling for either or. I think that's kind of how the weather's working right now. It's either going to be dry-ish and mostly partly cloudy until Thursday, or it's going to rain the rest of the week starting tomorrow afternoon. So I don't know what to tell you. Ryan was wondering if he should go out and cut hay tomorrow, or not tomorrow, today, just because On the One Weather app, literally it said we had 4 days of dry-ish weather and in the 70s. You refresh that exact same app and it tells you it's going to rain tomorrow. So it's literally just flipping a coin what you really want to do. So as far as thinking we're going to have a chance to make too much for any dry hay from here on out, it's kind of unlikely. But worst comes to worst, you wait until it freezes and you make a bunch of frozen material hay and we feed that out right away. So, all right, quick update. Those are kind of the nice ones to make. So talk to you later. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch. Talk to you later.